Well, I'm board certified OBGYN with over 35 years of experience, and I used to do abortions. I thought that I thought that it was a woman's right to have an abortion, that no woman should have a baby she didn't want. And so when I entered my OBGYN residency, I learned how to do first trimester D&C with suction abortions and also D&E or dismemberment abortions. I thought that was the best way that I could help women. I even did them when I was pregnant, but after my baby was born, I could no longer tear the arms and legs off little babies just because they weren't wanted. And then as I saw young women in my practice with unplanned pregnancies do really well after keeping their babies, as opposed to women who were struggling with the complications and problems subsequent to abortion.
1,600 babies from abortion just this year is what our projections show. And so we're just a resource to the community. We know that about 80% of women, post-abortive women, say that they would have chosen life if they had just one person supporting them. And so we find that to be very encouraging. So we seek to be that one person who's supporting them. You know, a lot of men will buy the lie, the pro-choice lie that it's her body, her choice. And so even if they want her to keep the baby, they'll say that to her, thinking that they're being supportive, saying, hey, it's your body, it's your choice, do whatever you want, and I'll support you either way. So they feel like they're being supportive, but then, and in fact, she's feeling like she's all alone. And so it's so important to be that friend, that person that's an encourager to say, hey, you can do this. We'll not only just encourage you, emotionally, but we're going to help you with some material services. We're going to help you get connected to community services. And so we are a pro-life leader in the Jacksonville area. My name is Jennifer, and I've been with First Coast for about 5 years now. I started as a volunteer in the Clay Center, and then when we opened the Northside Center, I was the center director. And then God moved me into the fundraising side of things, which is also very fun and encouraging. And yes, next year I'll be the CEO.
I'm going to read the amendment, and I'd just love to get your thoughts on it and what the dangers behind it is. So this is what it reads. So amendment number 4, it's called the Right to Abortion Initiative. It reads, amendment to limit government interference with abortion. No law shall prohibit, penalize, delay, or restrict abortion before viability or when necessary to protect the patient's health as determined by the patient's healthcare provider. This amendment does not change the legislature's constitutional authority to require notification to a parent or guardian before a minor has an abortion. Now, just reading that from the surface, it reads like it's okay, I guess, but there's, when you really break it down, it is actually really deceptive and how ambiguous a lot of the words are, like healthcare provider, patient's health, like what does that mean? Jennifer, will you please kind of break down just kind of the initial dangerous meanings behind the lack of being that direct with what the text means?
Yeah, I'll speak to the parent consent aspects that I'm concerned with. I'll let Kathy speak to the health aspects because she's the expert on those things. But to me, it's just as a parent, I have 4 kids, 2 of them are teenagers, and this amendment, if it was passed, it would remove parent consent. So parents right now are not only notified, but they also have to give consent for their child to have an abortion. This would remove consent laws, and it would only allow parents to be notified. So it's written really craftily because it makes it sound like, oh, nothing's going to change, but that was done on purpose. That was done on purpose to confuse people. So right now, if I have my child and they're in school, they get hurt, the school can't even give them a Tylenol without my consent. But if this amendment passes, then my child could then go get an abortion, and I would only be notified. I would have no ability to stop it, to prevent it, to speak into my child's life, and that's going way too far as a parent. My child is about to get his driver's license, right, and so he could not be able to legally drive in the state of Florida, but he could, be part of an abortion, and so it's terrible. The other part that's concerning to me is the first three words, no law shall. So you mentioned that there's plenty of laws. There's actually 20 laws in the state of Florida right now regarding abortion. And so every single one of those laws would be ripped out, removed, and totally gotten rid of. So because no law shall prohibit, penalize, delay, or restrict an abortion. And so all the laws that even protect women, if I'm a person, I'm pro-life, but I have some people that have come up to me in discussions that are pro-choice or who are pro-life, and these laws are laws that the pro-choice side would want. Allegedly, they want women's health to be protected. And those laws that are making sure that the procedure's done safe in a sanitary environment by a medical profession, all those laws are being taken away. And so it's very concerning.
In that law, they talked about health being anything that affects the woman, and it could be her age, could be emotional health, could be a lot of other things that we would not think of as severe health problems. So they can use that little loophole, or that big loophole, to authorize an abortion all the way up to birth. And it doesn't even have to be a doctor making that recommendation. It's a healthcare professional, which is not defined. So that really could be anyone, and they wouldn't necessarily be qualified to make those kinds of decisions.